Hi everyone, I have Agotapop's latest Christmas pictures to show you. Now this is again a series of 24, so you could do them as some are double and some are single-sided. That's nothing to do with her, that's my printing. There are 24 little pictures and they're sort of old-fashioned Christmas, I think is what she called it. I can't remember, old-time Christmas. I'm going to come in close and show you. So you get 6 per page, but there is a set where you can buy let's put them side by side, where you can buy bigger images. So it's up to you whether you buy the 6 per page or the larger scale ones. Yeah, there's a choice, so yeah, as I say, it's up to you. So we have a pair of houses, mouse in stocking, snow globe and some wrapping ribbon for decorating, rocking horse and some letters. Then on the second sheet, well, there's no proper order. We have mittens, we have a cup of hot chocolate, I'm guessing, lovely gifts, a mouse and a cookie jar, a candle, a bag with some, oh, it says Mr. Mouse, just a little gift. We have a mailbox, a decorated front door, some bells, a mouse with a bauble, a poinsettia plant, a nutcracker, a sitting room, a sort of house, our decorations in a box, a sort of set of nice cookies on a plate, mouse with gifts, and a Christmas tree. Now I'm only going to choose one to colour with you. Obviously we have our advent running through with lots of Agata's pictures, so I'm just going to pick one and do it with you, and then the rest I may or may not do, but I thought it'd be nice to just do one as they're so lovely and festive. I'm just going to stop the camera, go and find out why my phone rang just now, and then come back and colour one with you. Okay, I have chosen this poinsettia to colour. I rather like them, so I thought I would choose it. And I'm going to use my Pablo pencils, even though the reds, maybe not quite as red as I might want, but I think we can work it out. Yeah, let's start with the, I don't want the scarlet or the carmine. I think I'm going to start with the carmine. It's a bit of a pinky red, but I think it will work. And I'm going to start with the petals. And I need to tell you something that I forgot. Now, Agata sent this to me for free. She's very kind. She doesn't expect me to always sort of show them on camera or whatever, but I like to because she sent it to me. But she sends it to me along with the discount code. Well, she puts it into her discount code, so if you go, I'm just trying to check which are leaves and which are flowers, but you can see the leaves have got these slightly different design. If you go into the description on the video, there is a discount code. You get 10% off if you use, I think it's Rachel 10, I can't quite remember it, but Agata makes sure that she puts it on all of her items so that anyone who uses it can get the money off, which is good of her. Yes, she has a lot in her Etsy shop, lots of different designs, a lot of Christmas ones which I've showed you in a previous video, but she also has autumn, spring, there's Easter, there's mushroom houses, there's a camping set, there's sort of different cute animal sets, all sorts of different things. Now I am only roughly colouring this to start with. I haven't really thought about what I'm doing with it, to be honest. Now this set has got a square around it too, so that you can do a background if you want to within a small space. She did that with her Christmas countdown ones as well, which I coloured for. I finished all of those. Yeah, I did. I wanted to get the whole set done early so that I could give my channel members access to the whole video, so all of them in one go. I sort of give these compilation videos to my channel members. So to be a member, you pay about £5 a month, and what I do to thank members is to give them compilation videos. So if any video that I make has more than one part, then I try and glue those parts together and put it as a members only video, so my members get a little bit of something as a thank you. Now I've tried to do that with my advent calendar. The advent calendar in total was 8.5 hours long, and it crashed when I tried to export it. It was exporting for 27 hours and then it crashed. Cry. I didn't cry. So in the end I did it in 2 halves, and I'm trying to upload that to YouTube at the moment and crossing my fingers and hoping that it's going to work. I had to stop the upload actually because my son is streaming, and if I'm uploading to YouTube and he's trying to stream, our internet can't cope and it lags on his stream, and it's actually undoable because he's playing a game on stream, and so he has to use all sorts of software. It needs a lot of whatever it is. So it makes it a bit tricky. But I'm tired today. I've had a non-day, shall we say. Right, that's my first layer of colour. I want to go in there darker. I'm going to use the Bordeaux red, which is, ow, it's really sharp. I just touched the end by mistake. I'm going to use the Bordeaux red, there you go, to fill in where I think it should be a little bit darker. So down here, for example. And then I'm going to go back over with the other red and colour the rest again, so that it's a little bit more intense, the colour. Yes, apart from, because I was trying to export these files, I couldn't do anything much on my computer, and my boys were both home and I was trying to encourage them to work. I'd really like them to get a big chunk of their work done before they finish for the Christmas holidays, so that they haven't got that sort of hanging over them, and they can have some days off and just relax and enjoy themselves. They do have quite a long holiday, but I wanted them to actually be able to have a holiday, you know, and have some time off, and I'd like some time off too. And when they're working, I feel like I need to be sort of supervising them, because I feel that it's such a waste. I see them sitting there with half a document open trying to write an essay, and then half a video open watching that at the same time, rather than what they would rather do, I know, is to be playing games. So why not? I try and encourage them to fully concentrate on their work and get that done, and then they can have some days off, and we might even be able to do some family stuff. I'm not sure whether they're that keen though to do things with me and go places, but you know, we'll see. It'll just be nice to think that they can have a bit of a break, and I know that they want one of them wants some games for Christmas, some computer games, so if he's getting those, he's going to want some time to play them. Now we're going back to the carmine now, and I'm going to tidy them all up, hopefully, by just putting another layer. Now paper, I get asked a lot about paper. This is copy paper, and I actually find, and I used it for my advent page, and I find it's completely fine. I know some people prefer a thicker paper, and I can understand that, but the cardstock that I have it's not good for pencil work, so I avoid it. And yeah, it just depends, but I think this works okay. So yeah, I do sometimes use Bristol board, but it's quite smooth and it can be a little bit too smooth, almost slippery with some brands of pencil, even though it is designed for pencil. There's no tooth in it very much. I find it quite difficult. I didn't find it work particularly well with polychromos. I felt like I was having to almost try and force it onto the page, which isn't ideal. So that was, yeah, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Now I don't know if I'm going to bother with the background on this one because I don't know, I'm not really in the mood for it, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. I really want to go and get a cup of tea. Perhaps I should and then come back. Right, now the very centres, I tend to do them with a little bit of green and yellow. That's how I feel they should look. So I use the green that I'm going to use for the leaves. I am going to use, I'm just looking at my swatch chart, the grass green. Yeah, the big criticism I would have with these, grass green, I really like the range of colours apart from some of the greens. There's a beautiful range of olives. I love olive greens, that's fantastic. But there's a lot of bluey greens which have their place, but the mid greens, very few, just this green and a lighter one. And so that's its only problem really. So I want to try and put a bit of green down on these central bits, but leave some space for some yellow. So I'm going to do the yellow now and then I won't forget. I want my sort of brightest, most intense yellow, which is the yellow. Just trying to find it, there it is. Yellow. Now I will often, I'm going over the whole thing with yellow, do a little red dot on the end of the centre of a poinsettia as if it's just opening into a new petal. But I'm not going to do that on this one because I think it's okay. And I think it will disappear into the red petals without you really noticing what it is. I'm going to try and do these a little bit darker nearer to the flower, but not too much because I want to make sure there's enough down on the page. And I'm thinking about what colour to do that bow when I'm colouring in these, and the of course the container as well. Am I wobbling a bit? I could be a bit closer, couldn't I? I've just been fiddling with the height of my tripod because this is the third video in a row that I filmed, and the others I had rather large books, so I had to move my tripod up so I could get them all in shot. So one was a flip through of my, you would have, you may not have seen it, depends what order I put them in, you probably won't have seen that one actually, a flip through of a calendar which was enormous, and the other was, I'm going to try and find a darker, I think the emerald green is quite a good one, and I'm going to do it in the near to the petals. Yeah, one was the calendar and one was a sort of A4 size, same size as this, but it just didn't seem to properly fit in shot, so I had to but I put the tripod back, I think, to then its normal height now. And the tips, I use the yellow green. Yeah, I use the yellow green for the tips. Ooh. Better? I've just remembered also Wednesday's podcast day. have a podcast that I enjoy listening to. And they release on a Wednesday. Normally, sometimes it's a Thursday. But I just didn't get a chance today. Okay, now pot and bow. We could go for quite a dark green for the pot or dark green for the bow. I think I'm going to go for a dark green for the pot. Hence, this is dark green. It's our darkest green. And I'm going to try and make it a little bit lighter towards the middle of the pot, so that it can look a bit more shiny and rounded. See how it goes. It's a bit lighter here, really. Do the same with the bottom bit. It's a bit more intense here. And then a less here. It's not too bad, it needs a bit more work. What's happened is I faded it very suddenly, so we've got a sort of line. Just reduce it a bit more slowly. I think my husband had his work Christmas dinner today. Him and his colleagues were going to go out somewhere. This is the Bordeaux red that I used to darken some areas. I'm going to use it for the bow. Now, you know what you could do for backgrounds for these, which is tempting, is to use like a gold glitter pen or something. And you don't have to sort of colour it in as such. You could just use a pen. Don't have one though. In here. So I can't do that. I feel like these Pablo pencils aren't working that well on this copy paper. Works very well with polychromos, but I feel like I'm getting a lot of white paper showing through. I'm going to use a blending pencil. Excuse me. Sudden tickle. That was very strange. I'm going to use a blending pencil to try to just make it look a little bit smoother in a bit. Particularly on those flowers, but I think probably everywhere would benefit from it. Now, I have a mixture of different blending pencils, but I do have a Caran dash, and as these are Caran dash pencils, it would seem like that would be the best choice. So I'm going to go for it. I've got one of these Caran dash sticks. It's called a full blender. Use it on the petals. Now, I have found that this Caran dash blender doesn't work with all brands of pencil, which is a bit strange, because you would expect, like my Derwent blending pencil and my Prisma blending pencil work with all pencils, but this one doesn't. I say it is a bit strange, but it's obviously working with the Pablos. If it didn't, there would be something very wrong in the world. It'd be very odd, wouldn't it? We've made our brand has made a blending pencil, but it doesn't work with our own pencils. You can also get a Caran blending pencil, which is this same material but in a wooden casing like a regular pencil. I don't think I have one here. I find those better because these, if you drop them, they snap. They're very brittle, whereas a pencil, even if the lead snaps off the end a little bit, it's it doesn't completely destroy it, you know. So I find they in a wooden casing better, but I was given these by Caran for free. Not to test in a video or to promote them or anything, because I bought some of their pencils and they didn't work properly, or I didn't think they worked properly. Sounds a bit odd, how can a pencil not work properly? Anyway, and they sent me a replacement pencil. I'm just looking for the sepia because I want to do some shadow. They sent me two replacement pencils and some blending sticks as an apology. So that was nice. Yes, so we have the sepia, and I'm going to do some shadow under our ribbon on the pot. And then in the ribbon. And a bit here, I can do these lines. And then under there, there'll be a shadow. If you're not sure where to put the shadow, then sort of think about, look at things in your room and where the shadows fall. I always find that's quite useful. You sort of almost look at things with a different eye when you're colouring anyway. I don't know if you have noticed this. You're sort of always observing, oh, look at that leaf, I could colour that. That's a certain... Sometimes you even start thinking in colour names. Oh, that leaf is a Van Dyke brown. It probably isn't. Or an olive green or whatever it might be, you know. And you start sort of doing that. And I can't visualise things in my head. So I've now got a smartphone with the camera, so I can start taking pictures of things that, you know, look pretty and that I want to sort of either note the colour of or something like that. I'm sort of putting shadows in everywhere I can think of and hoping it gives it a slightly more sort of three-dimensional look, as if it's not all flat. Now a background, I am going to do one because it just feels like I need to finish it. I'm going to use a blue. There's a really pale blue called a bluish pale, but I think I want just a little bit more than that, so I'm going to use the pastel blue. Just trying to find it. There it is. It's right next to it. Oops, and just do a swish of blue. I think the texture of this pencil work might have been better had I been leaning on something a bit better. I'm just leaning on a few pieces of paper. If I was leaning on a book rather than my desk, I think it might have been a bit better. Now I've got these dots here. I'm not sure. Most of the pictures have got them. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be. And I think I'm just going to colour over them. Now we need to go in all the gaps with a little bit of blue. Might get a poinsettia this year. I'm not sure, I had one last year and it managed to survive through Christmas, but I didn't get it that early. So, I don't know. I like the little ones. that only have like one flower or maybe 2 or 3. But actually, yes, I was given one, and it was to win Christmas Eve or a couple of days before, and a petal fell off every single day that I had it until it just was gone quite quickly. So maybe not. I'm going to go for a slightly darker colour. There's one called Blue Jeans, which I always think, where are you? There it is, which I feel is a slightly darker version of this one. I'm just going to use it a little bit in the corners and edges just to darken the edge. I feel like it needs it, like I've been doing on my Advent pictures. These were a bit bigger though. I think my Advent pictures, they all fitted on one page, whereas this is only 6 a page. It's a lot bigger, but you can get the Advent pictures in a bigger size as well, so it's just worth noting when you're looking at Agata's page the size of the pictures and which size, if they come in different sizes, which might be most suitable for you. If you aren't sure, message her, she will answer you, and you can find out which might be the best sort of size or pictures for you to get. Okay, I'm going to go back to the bluish, the pastel blue, sorry, just blend that in a bit. And I'm going to get some white pen. I can't resist. Got to use a bit of white. I'm wondering, is that a gap or is it? Yeah, I think it is supposed to be. I was just wondering whether it's a bit of petal that I misunderstood, but I don't think it is. We also have Christmas markets. I was just thinking about, my husband wants to go to different Christmas markets that are going on. It should be fun. Right, let's go with our Jelly Roll 10 and do a few bits in the background. So we've got these that are drawn in already. My pen has decided to stop working. There we go. That's better. And we've got a couple over here, and I'm just going to put a lot more in. They need to be quite big to show up on this blue because it's a fairly pale colour. I'm not going to put any on the actual flowers. I've got to come around and try not to smudge it. Smudging is my favourite thing. My neighbour's an artist dealing with oil paints. She shared the best picture of herself today. She had paint all over her face. She said, it's lovely to discover this when you have been talking to a significant amount of people before you notice. She said, I must remember not to wipe my face when I'm painting. She wears gloves for her oil paint, which is very sensible, but obviously touched her face. So there we are. There is the poinsettia. I do love them. It's beautifully drawn, and I had a lot of fun colouring it in. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your day and happy colouring.